Hello friends, welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here, welcome. I mentioned recently in another video how I'm wanting to work on different aspects of my house little by little, just decluttering and cleaning spaces and doing small projects that may not seem like very much at all, but they make my home that 1% better. So that's exactly what I'm going to get into today. And really, I have no method to my madness today. I'm kind of just going around the house and doing what needs done. I knew I wanted to get to my comforter and sheets and blankets and stuff on my bed, so I went ahead and I started that first thing this morning so then I can rotate through the laundry and do other people's laundry. So if you are new here, we're a family of 6 and my kids each have a certain laundry day. So they each have their own hamper in their room and they each have an assigned day to do their laundry. So I wanted to get my laundry out of the way. That way, today was my oldest son's day for his laundry, and that way he could go through and do his laundry. So I started that first thing in the morning, and now I'm going to get the table wiped down and set for the day. We recently just had a super busy Father's Day weekend. We had a ton of stuff going on, and it feels like it was one of those weekends where you have like so much going on that by the end of Sunday, you're like, it didn't even feel like a weekend. So I really did not work on the house at all. I kind of just, it got unorganized and stuff like that, and I just kind of let it go. So you will see we actually have dishes and the kitchen is a mess, and the rest of the area is not so much a mess. It just kind of need tidied and picked up for the week ahead. And then I will get to a section of the house that has been bothering me for at least a month. It has been accumulating a huge mess, and I am ready to not look at that mess anymore. I had actually woken up today with the intent of going outside and working on another project that I'm so excited to work on. However, it was raining. It stormed almost all night and it continued throughout the morning, and it actually rained most of this day. So I didn't get to go outside and work on any of the stuff I was wanting to work on, which is totally fine. I'm just kind of, like I said, there is no rhyme or reason to what I'm working on today. I'm just walking around the house and getting to the things that are kind of bothering me in that moment. So, and I love rainy days like this because it's perfect to work on inside your house. So on the sunnier days, when it is nice and sunny and the weather is not too hot, then I like working outside on projects. But days like this, I don't mind at all either because I can get the stuff done inside the house. If you've been here a while, you know that whenever I am cleaning in these areas, I always show my oil diffusers. I absolutely love having them with oil in them. I just feel like it smells so good, and I love switching them, and I love the effects of them. So I usually have my volcano one here. However, I switched it out to, I don't know what it's like a fire looking one is this one. I've had it on my channel before. So I ended up switching it out because I've been having trouble with my volcano one. Well, whenever I went to turn this one on, I had trouble with that as well. I'm thinking because I don't always use our water from our faucet, but I have been recently, and I'm thinking that might have ruined it. I have to look at the different components inside, but usually I'll clean them off and everything. But they haven't been working very well, and I'm starting to think that our hard water got to them. My husband literally just called the water department the other day because we had a heating element go out in our water heater, and that is probably the 3rd time that it's gone out, and it's also the 3rd or 4th water heater that we've had since living here in like 5 years. So it's pretty bad. The water is really hard in this area, and we're going to have to probably get a water softener system here soon. And I may have to get a new oil diffuser here soon too. just showing you some of the stuff that the kids got for my husband for Father's Day, just kind of clearing this area up. We have notebooks and homeschool stuff and library books and computers. I wanted to show you this. I think I mentioned it previously. This is on my Amazon list too. So if you're interested in this, it is there. But it is really great for a homestead. So we don't have a farm, and I do have a small garden. So I do have like seeds listed and stuff here and where you plant it. But if you also have a farm, it has like egg count. There is like if you store food, they have different areas for that. There's different areas for animal feed, and here's a planting log. Like I said, it shows you can even plot it out, but there's companion planting and crop rotation, and there's just so many different sections to this notebook. But also it is a planner as well. So it has the monthly planner. There are budget goals, there's daily goals, all kinds of different things. There's weekly planners, daily. It even has planning for meals. So I really like that. There's an area where you can write lists for the store. So I wanted to share that with you. But like I said, I have that on my Amazon list if you're wanting to check it out for yourself. I just thought this was funny. The cat was sitting right there and the birds were just flying into the bird feeder just nonstop. So the cat was sitting there watching the birds. And I don't always get to get it on camera. A lot of times if I'm close enough, it scares them away. But I thought it was kind of cool that I got it on camera this time. Since it's raining outside, I'm going to put our blanket to hang up on the balcony upstairs. So that is what I'm working on. I love hanging the stuff. First of all, I love hanging it inside up here on the balcony because it makes the house smell incredible. I love that. It's like hanging your curtains, which I do plan on getting to, not today, but really soon. I'm wanting to do them within this coming week. So but anyway, you hang them up wet and they dry nice and straight and they just smell beautiful. It makes the whole house smell beautiful. So I am going to be doing that soon, but it's like the same effect when hanging blankets up on our balcony as well. So I like hanging them outside because you get that nice, I don't know what it is, you get that breeze and it feels so good to sleep on sheets and blankets that have been dried outside in the sun and the wind. So I love that, but I do love drying them inside for it to smell up my house. Anyway, so this is the area that I'm talking about that has really been bothering me. If you are new here, I never have a box cutter. We own them. We own like quite a bit of them actually, but do I ever find them? Absolutely not. Not a single time do I ever find a box opener. You know what? And I never even find like good scissors either. We have plenty of wonderful scissors and I never find them. I only ever find the most janky little kid scissors that are available to open boxes. So anyway, this pile is basically just garbage and boxes that we have built up over the last month in our little foyer area. And that little egg box that I just threw, that was actually a science project from my daughter's science final over a month ago. So they have been here building up and getting on my nerves for over a month. So it's just time to get this area cleaned up. And because this area was just covered in boxes, I hadn't went through here and swept or vacuumed or mopped or anything. So the floor was really dirty. It really needed dusted over here. Everything needed picked up. And this closet was another thing that's kind of not necessarily bothering me, but something that I've been wanting to work on. Another reason why I'm kind of going around it, yes, everything's kind of bothering me and I'm just slowly wanting to work on little areas and feel a lot better. That's how I kind of work mentally, is I feel a lot better when my house is organized and just at peace. I feel like I can, relax a little better. So yes, I'm doing it for my mental health, but also we host a lot throughout the summertime, and specifically for 4th of July. So my birthday is actually July 1st and my daughter's birthday is July 2nd. And then we host for July 4th. So we usually are really, really busy this time of year, like these few weeks. And I like to take a couple of weeks before 4th of July and before our birthdays and start cleaning and getting things nice and organized and ready for the 4th. And I like to start way ahead of time. That way, I don't necessarily have to be cleaning on my birthday or my daughter's birthday. We can kind of just enjoy that time together. So I will usually start this project well in advance for that reason. Also, I'm one of those people that I don't like, I am a procrastinator, so I do definitely save things for like way right before when they need to be done. But these type of things I don't really procrastinate on. I say that, but here we are, like after a month of it sitting in my foyer. So I don't know, but anyway, I wanted to slowly work on this and get this done. And that way it wasn't so much work right before the party and, the week of our birthdays. And just, we have so much going on that week. So I wanted to space it out and have plenty of time to knock it all out. I just got this whole area picked up. I still have to sweep and mop down here, but we have had this like pile of boxes not broken down for literally a month, I want to say, just sitting right here and accumulating more and more boxes. So I got those broken down as much as I can break them down. So I'm going to probably load that up in my car and take it to the recycling place in town. So that is also what this box, I gotta put that over there. This egg carton, we're going to donate a bunch of books. So the boys filled up that egg box, and then I have like cleaning rags and mop heads and stuff like that I just washed. So I got that, a couple things that I need to put where they go before I can kind of clean up. But I just wanted to get this closet like taken care of. It's really out of sight, out of mind, and that's kind of why it gets out of hand so quickly. But this is pretty much the only area I have like for all of like my vacuums and mops and stuff that are readily available. So like I have storage areas downstairs, but really nothing up here. And my vacuum that I usually use, I don't keep in here because there is no outlets in this area. I think this area was an add-on, so there's like no outlets at all. So to keep it charged all the time, I just have it going in the pantry and I have it like hung on the wall. I have a thing for the wall that I think I'm gonna put here for like these mops. But I have to go get that. So I don't know if I'll end up doing that today or not. But this is our coat closet. It's just right next to our door. However, it is usually so warm here that we don't often need coats. And so we only keep a couple. I think each person has one winter coat and we keep that in our closets in our room. So really, we don't use this at all for that. Anyway, so we have all of my cleaning stuff here that does not really go in my cleaning closet in here. And then we have like, this is filled with hats and gloves, which I feel like I need to go through. I am constantly decluttering that because again, we don't need it very often, but then when it does snow, the boys love going outside and there's plenty in there for us to use. So I don't know, I might just leave that and, deal with it whenever the snow comes. But anyway, so that is filled with mittens and gloves and hats and just everything like that. I have just some odds and ends here. We have some records up there that I'm not really sure what to do with. Some stuff for like plants, some extra pillows. I don't know if I can, it's just very blurry. There we go. Some extra pillows. This box has some of the attachments for like my vacuum. We have a pool and we host a lot during the summer, so like some family members will leave an extra suit or towel here, and so that has like all of suits and towels and stuff for like family members. We end up accumulating different Tupperware and stuff that people leave behind whenever we are hosting. So whenever that happens, I always put that stuff here. So, and everybody kind of knows that that's here regularly. So if they're missing something or they left something, they can always check this closet and it will be in here. So that is what that little piece of Tupperware is. I think that's my mom's. And then I bought this stain and sealer for outside, and I was planning on staining those columns today, but it is raining. It's been storming for all day and all night actually. So I put that in here for another day. Anyway, just like I said, it really wasn't necessary, but it's something that's been bothering me this entire area for like the last month. And that's kind of my goal, is just to go through and slowly work on all the areas that are bothering me. So we got this all cleaned up. I feel much better about it. I'm going to get all of this taken care of. Again, I need to sweep and vacuum and mop. So I'm going to do that in here. And I say sweep and vacuum because there's like really tight corners that my vacuum can't get in. So a lot of times I'll sweep up that into like the middle and then just like vacuum it. So I'm going to do that, kind of clean up this whole area. Since we've had so much stuff accumulating here, I've been basically avoiding it and have not cleaned this in probably a month. So we're going to get all of this taken care of right now, and I will feel so much better. I just know it. I'm going to take all these boxes and things that I broke down and put them into garbage bags only because I feel like it's easier for me to carry downstairs. We do not, so it's weird because, well, maybe this is normal. I don't know. Down here, at least in the area that we're in, and I know my mom's area is the same, they don't pick up recycling. That is something that we were really used to for basically our whole lives in Illinois. They would take garbage and recycling. There was 2 different trucks that came around, and here they don't do that. So, and you know what, now that maybe it's a small town thing, because my husband's, when he was growing up, he was in a small town and it was the same thing. They did not have a truck that went around. And so anyway, we have a recycling center that we can go to in town and drop off our stuff. They're open 2 days a week for a couple of hours. So I'm just putting the stuff in bags and then I'm going to bring it out to the car. That way I can go and drop it off whenever I'm in town. So I thought it was funny. I kept leaving these parts in here because I kept, slowly bringing it out to the car and putting it in there. I also have stuff for garbage I can drop off at the center whenever I go, and just various things, the donation stuff I'm putting in the car. But every time I open the door to leave, the dogs would come and sit by the door. And, you always, whenever you get home, and Ted even has his toy. He brought me his toy this time. But every time I would go out the door, they would just come and sit by the door. And I thought that was funny that I got that on the recording, so I left that in. It's just funny because, whenever you leave your house and you come home and your dogs are always, right there wagging their tails and excited to see you. And I just thought it was interesting that I was recording at the same time and was actually able to see, every time I would leave. And obviously it was only for like 30 seconds. So it wasn't very long, but it was funny to see how they reacted every single time I left and came back. While I'm in this area and wiping everything down, I went ahead and switched out my wreath. I will switch this out not every season. I think it came with like 3 seasons. So I had like a wintry one over there, but my mom got me that years ago and I absolutely love it. I think she ordered it like in a magazine or something. I don't know, but it came with 3 different, wreaths, and one's like a Christmas one, one's a fall one, and then that one that I just put up is a summertime one. I added the little flags for 4th of July. I thought it turned out really cute. But I also have one that's more of like a winter one. It has like iced fruit on it. I don't know. I got it at a antique store a couple years ago, so it didn't come with the kit, but it's like the same size, so I used it for that. And I really like those type of decorations where you can kind of just easily switch the stuff out from season to season and not really have to like put pictures up, or like, especially for like, I'm not huge with decorating. I know that there's a lot of people that said that they decorate for like summertime. I just don't have that in me. I want to be that person, but for one, I do not have the funds to just buy a million things from the store every season. So really, like, my summertime decorations are like just flags and stuff that I've accumulated over the years. I just put them in different plants. I like to display my plants and stuff like that. I'm really very basic, and I really only decorate for Christmas and fall. I love decorating for like summertime, but I just don't have the stuff. And part of me is like, I don't really know what I would put either. So I have like a couple little like lemon things, and I don't even know if I put those out anymore. So I'm just not, I guess, very big on it. I would love to be that person, but I'm not, I guess. So like I said, I have not dusted this area. I have not cleaned this area in so long. So I am getting all of this stuff off of these shelves moved and dusted. I want to dust down the door so that I got spray on that. I'm dusting everything down. I did the mirror and getting everything, all the cobwebs, everything all picked up because we are not decorating for Halloween yet. I always have that joke. You know how like there's like dad jokes? I feel like that's one of them where, if it's like close to fall or like Halloween time, you're like, oh, I can leave the cobwebs because it's for Halloween. And I feel like it's like a dad joke, but anyway, so I'm getting all the cobwebs because it is not Halloween time, and getting everything dusted down and just picked up. It feels so good too. It's one of those things that, yes, we had this huge pile of boxes here, and you would think that my husband, like, I just don't think that men notice that kind of thing, because he definitely didn't. I don't know if he actually knows they're gone yet, and it's been days, but he came home, and the stuff that I'm doing, like the dusting and vacuuming and sweeping and stuff, I don't know if he really can tell. So it's like those cleaning times where it's like, if there's a new person, I don't know if they really know that you were cleaning, but to you, something that has really been bothering you, and you know that there's dust and debris and stuff that needs cleaned up, it really, you're like, oh, I feel so much better now that I got that entire area picked up. However, I think men are just wired different, or at least my husband is, because Kyle got home and I don't think he noticed. Like I said, I don't even think he noticed that the boxes are gone that have been here for a month. So I just think it's funny how they're built a little differently, but getting it all picked up, and I know that I felt so much better once I did. I am also going to wipe down our ceiling fans. So I just showed me doing this one. The one upstairs, I will not do. I'm just too scared. It is right above our balcony, and that one probably gets done the least because it is in such a weird, awkward spot. My husband can reach it, but I even feel really nervous when he does it. So I'm not going to do that. I always try to stay away from that one. But I recently just did this ceiling fan. However, it's summertime. We have the fans on quite a bit more. So I felt like it just needed done really quickly. Like I mentioned earlier, the curtains, I do plan on getting to those, especially before we have guests and everything for 4th of July, but I did not get to them this day. My son, he ended up, so his room is downstairs. We have 3 floors, so this is the main floor, and then he's downstairs. And he used to be upstairs when we first moved here. However, he kind of switched it up and he wanted a larger room, and so we've actually been slowly building his room downstairs. He has a little living room. He has his bed area. He has like a gaming area. He has all this stuff. And I never show it, one, because it's still under construction, and also my older two, they don't love to be on camera all the time. So I try to give him, you know, his privacy. So we don't really share our construction projects going on down there. But anyway, he's downstairs, and we had so much rain that it actually flooded a lot of the area, and his room took on some water. So he was downstairs getting all of his laundry. There was rugs down there that he was having to put outside and clean and stuff like that. So I couldn't get my curtains and stuff in the wash because he ended up having a couple of loads this day, which actually worked out because it was his laundry day, but there was a couple of loads this day that he had to do as well because of the flooding from all the rain. I'm just showing you some quick after shots. We didn't do too much, like I said, but we did a lot of dusting and vacuuming, and the place just feels so much cleaner. So I'm showing you some after shots. There's our pool area that we got some flags and stuff hung up for 4th of July. The boys, I just showed a quick snippet. They went through the homeschool shelf and cleaned that up, got rid of books that they can get rid of, and anything that was, you know, able to get donated or got rid of. They went through all of that and organized that. So now we're going to start on the kitchen because we had, like I said, a long weekend where we did not do very much cleaning. We spent a lot of it out of the house and really not working on the house at all. So we have dishes, we have stuff from the meals, we need to wipe things down, get to some stuff in the kitchen. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to clear this counter so I can wipe it down, and then I can start on the dishes. I always do that. I do it in this order because I feel like it doesn't make sense to, I like washing a lot of the dishes by hand, especially my pots and pans. So I feel like I always have to wipe down the counter before I can put the drying mat on it. And sometimes when I'm watching cleaning videos, I feel like I'm doing things out of order compared to the people that I'm watching the videos. But this is how it makes sense in my head to wipe down the counter before I put a bunch of dishes on it. Because sometimes I'll just leave the dishes to dry. I end up drying them myself here. But if I leave the dishes to dry, then it's like I have to wipe around them to clean the counter. I don't know. That's how it makes sense to me. And like I said, I feel like sometimes when I'm watching other YouTubers clean, it seems like some of my stuff is out of order, but you know what? Do what works best for you. That's definitely what I do. I was pretty much in my own world this day. I love clean. Okay, so in the summertime, I love cleaning and just working on projects and stuff because it's like I don't have to worry about rushing from one place to the next. It's just so leisurely, and I can really just do whatever, you know, I get into. And I love that. And I completely was just in my own world this day, cleaning and working on different things. And I had no idea what time it was or anything. I was doing dishes and my husband ended up calling me, and I thought it was like hours before this, and he's just like, yeah, you know, I'm on my lunch and la la la, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Like, I thought it was still really early. I had no idea what time it was, nothing. And when he called, I thought there was like an emergency because I'm like, why is he calling me at this time? And then after I'm on the phone with him and there was no emergency or anything, I looked at the time and I'm like, oh my gosh, hours have slipped away at this point. So this day just blew by because, like I said, I was in my own little world, and I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was nice. I was listening to my music, and the boys, they had went through a bunch of books. So it's like when you clean your room, you find like all those treasures, and that's kind of how it was. So they kept coming in and reading me little sections of the books that they were reading. Theo, he comes in, I think he found like a joke book or something, so he was excited to read me some of the jokes. And it was just, I was in my own world, and it was really nice. These days where you can just be very absent-minded, but get a lot things done and stuff, and you're not running from here to there, and that mom brain that often is very foggy. It's like that was not taking place, and it felt really, really good this day. If you notice, I have been kind of posting different days and different times. So for a few reasons. One, it's summertime. I'm trying to enjoy my time with the kids and just kind of, do my own thing. And so if I don't necessarily meet the time and day and stuff like that for when I usually am on my schedule for YouTube, just know it's just because I'm just doing other things, and I'll get to it whenever I get to it. I'm not as strict about it. I think if I had like a huge following, maybe I would be more on top of it, but I'm just kind of, whenever I get to it, I get to it. And so that was one thing, but also I think I'm going to end up switching my days around, maybe just for the summer. I'm not quite sure. And I'm just kind of getting a feel for things. Just mostly because I feel like other days work a little better for me. So you may see that it is not necessarily sticking to a schedule here soon. And that is just because I'm trying to get a feel for things. So I might end up switching my days around. I think ultimately I'm going to still post in the mornings. I like getting that posted in the morning and up for you guys, but I will probably switch my days. I'm thinking Tuesdays and Fridays, but we'll see how things go. Like I said, it's just kind of an experimental phase right now and just kind of figuring out my way as I go. Oh, I completely forgot that I put this in the video. So I am going to go through, and you're only going to see me do this faucet, but I went around and did all the faucets in my house. So I mentioned we have hard water, and the water, it takes such a toll on everything. Like I said, it has taken such a toll on our water heater, and it always does with our faucets and even our pool. It's terrible. It's so bad. We're going to have to put in a system. But one thing I always do for our faucets around the house, in the showers, everything, is I take a bag and I fill it with vinegar, and then I let the faucet soak in vinegar for a couple of hours. So that was exactly my method. I did that in the bathrooms for the shower heads, and it helps it last a lot longer instead of replacing them as often. So it totally just eats away at that hard water debris, and it's like brand new once I pull the bag off. So I leave those on for a couple of hours because, like I said, we have very, very hard water, and a lot of the times the stains will build up, especially if I don't stay on top of it. So I'm going to leave that for a couple of hours, and like I said, I end up doing the faucets in our bathrooms and the shower heads, and that way I don't have to replace them as often as I would have to. I am going to finish walking around the kitchen and wiping things down, putting things away, and that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I know I feel like I'm in some transition period and just trying to figure out my YouTube still, my channel, and I know it's been like 2 years, but I think it's just good to always evaluate, your life and where you're at in those moments, and just kind of rework things and figure out what works best for you guys. And I feel like right now what I'm wanting is just to kind of bring you along with whatever I'm working on in that day. So today happened to be going around and mindlessly cleaning my house and having no rhyme or reason to it, just getting to whatever worked in those moments, whatever was bothering me in those moments, and just tackling them. So I appreciate you guys being here for me in these moments. And I hope that you were able to tackle the things around your house that you were wanting to tackle, or at least, sit down and hang out with a friend. But anyway, that is all I have for you today. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.